All right, what is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip, where every single week I come to you delivering different tips, tactics, and strategies that I've learned on my 20-year-long real estate journey that have allowed me to sell over 7,000 homes and become one of the top team leaders and top realtors on the planet, and sharing this information with you so you can take this information, you can implement it inside your own real estate business and life, and go out there and create that real estate business that you truly know you want and that you truly deserve. All right, so today I want to talk to you about the real estate game itself, how to master it, and how to win at it. A huge issue that I see inside of our real estate industry is the vast majority of realtors, sometimes even team leaders and broker owners, don't even know what the game is that we are playing. So if you want to go out there and win, man, you got to know the game. You got to know the directions to the game. You got to master it. You got to know what those fundamentals are. You got to make sure that you are playing the game in the right manner. And again, the vast majority, when I say the vast majority, I don't know, 95, 99%, somewhere in that range, have no damn idea what the hell the real estate game is. Now, as I break this down and go through this with you, it's very common, it's very easy for the human mind to allow itself to get into one of the most dangerous traps that exist out there when it comes to our overall growth. There's one single thing, one single thought process that we've got to have awareness of, and we got to be very, very careful that will, if you're not careful with this, that will hinder your overall growth more so than anything else. And it's when that thought enters your mind of, oh, I already know this. And one of my mentors years and years and years ago told me, Josh, that's one of the most dangerous things. Just, said what I just said to you guys. I don't need to repeat that. But then he was like, here's what you do. When you hear that thought coming into your head, I already know this because it's a thought that we all experience. Then he's like, I want you to use that as a trigger. So you have awareness of it. Use it as a trigger to then follow up with these 3 questions right here. Okay, so if I have that thought, I already know this. All right, then I'm going to follow it up with, okay, if I already know this, number 1, am I doing it? Number 2, have I mastered it? Number 3, do my results show that I have mastered it? Because I'm telling you right now, if you are not winning this game right now, if you are not crushing it, if you are not achieving and surpassing your real estate goals, if you have any element of struggle that you are experiencing in your real estate business right now, you don't know this, you haven't mastered this, and your results aren't showing that you've mastered this, because your results, the proof is in the pudding with that. So, and the reason why I bring this up is because some of the game that I'm going to talk about here, might be just that, where you're like, oh, I already know this. Could seem like common sense, but I'm going to do my best to do a deep dive into this. So then that way you can understand it and comprehend it at a much deeper level. One thing that I realized very early on in my career, because when I'm kind of dating and aging myself here, but I got in the business a long time ago when I was 23 years old, about 20 years ago. And there was no YouTube, there were no podcasts, there were no smartphones, internet was very kind of not even really used that heavily in real estate, right? It was a different world, different time. So, but early on, I realized that, hey, man, I want to be one of the top of the top. I want to be making over $1 million a year as quickly as I possibly can in this industry. So in order to do that, I knew that I needed to learn from the top of the top in the industry, people that have already done it. For me, it's like, anytime I have a goal, I want to go out there and create. I'm like, okay, who's already got the plan? Let me go learn from them so I don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's the quickest success hack that exists in the world, right? That there's no better success hack than learning from the doers that have already proven the results that we want to go out there and obtain. So then, in order to do that back then, because again, like now you can jump on my YouTube channel, you can jump on my webinars, you can go to gsdmode.com, you can, download all the free resources, free trainings. You can jump on a free Zoom coaching call with me if that's something that you want to do. And obviously you can learn from others, inside this industry as well, through all the amazing tech that we have, but that wasn't an option back then. So I had to jump on airplanes and go visit the offices of these top producers. And initially I was a little disappointed, because I was expecting to see this magic pill. I was expecting to see, something that they were doing that the rest of us in the industry, that I hadn't grasped yet, that the rest of this industry hadn't grasped yet. I was expecting that secret sauce, that magic pill that so many are looking for. And I was looking forward to at that time. But then very quickly, and this is where the disappointment came in, I realized, okay, shit, that doesn't exist. There is no magic pill. They're not doing anything really different. They're just doing They're just mastering the basics, mastering the fundamentals. They're playing the game at a higher level. They're more focused at it. They're investing the time to master it. So they're playing it at a higher level. They're doing it better. And they're doing it more consistently than the rest of us. So as I explain the game, I want to make sure that you understand it, that you know it. And then we'll go into the directions, the instructions of the game. But then I'm going to do a deep dive into each phase of this so you can kind of do an assessment in your own real estate business and be like, where am I falling short? Because I'm telling you right now, there is no secret. Quit looking for the secret. There is no magic pill. Quit looking for the magic pill. There is no such thing as 6-minute abs. For somebody with a six pack, I can tell you right now, dude, it takes freaking hard work. It takes crazy dieting, crazy gym time, depriving ourselves of, some of that food. It's the basics. It's the fundamentals. Kobe Bryant, who was the GOAT during his time, still, he classify him still as a GOAT, in the game of basketball. And I'm not a huge basketball fan, but definitely a fan of greatness. So, follow him a little bit, or when he was here, followed him and still try to learn from him, unfortunately he's no longer here, but he has a quote of saying, hey, the reason why I'm the greatest in the game right now is because I never get bored of the basics. He learned, like when you look at the game of basketball, or really any sport, it's not like the pros are playing a different game than, I don't know, elementary kids. They're playing the same game. They got free throws, they got 3-pointers, they got layups, it's all the same rules. It's the same game. So what's the difference, right? He was just obsessed with mastering the basics, mastering the fundamentals, and doing those and executing on those on a higher consistent level than everybody else. And that's how he became the GOAT. And again, his famous quote out there, his quote of, the reason why I'm the greatest is because I never get bored with the fundamentals. So many, and maybe even yourself, you're spending and exhausted and just wasting so much damn time because you're hoping to find that magic pill, which again, doesn't exist out there. Okay, so with that, enough on that. Let's jump on in to the game itself. So the overall real estate game, very simple. It's the instructions, the directions of the game that becomes more complex. But if we look at the overall game of real estate, it's just this: to get people to know you, like you, trust you, be aware of what you do for a living, follow up frequently, and or keep your message in front of them frequently, and your business continues to grow and expand. Now, let me lead off with this. I don't care what level that you're at in the real estate business. Doesn't matter if you're an individual agent or maybe a part-time agent, full-time agent, agent on a team, or if you have a team, or if you're running and operating a brokerage and you're no longer in production, the game doesn't change. Right now, we're just, okay, like with myself, okay, growing real estate companies now and having my own real estate company, we're just playing a game at a higher level. I got more people playing the game, but the game itself doesn't change, right? And that's a huge mistake that a lot of team leaders and broker owners get themselves into, is they think because their role and title is different, and then all of a sudden the game becomes different. Nope, the game's the same. Again, the overall game, I'm going to repeat it because it's so damn important. Get people to know you, like you, trust you, be aware of what you do for a living, follow up frequently, and or keep your message in front of them frequently, and your business continues to grow and expand. So then, okay, we got to make sure that we're playing the game every single day. And again, we're just starting off simple, then we'll get more complex here, get more into the weeds. Okay, so then from there, in order to play the game every single day, your objective then is to get new people aware of you today that were not aware of you yesterday, offer them something of value in exchange for their contact information, and then again, follow up frequently, and we'll keep your message in front of them frequently, and your business continues to grow and expand. Now, just like any game that we want to go out there and play, we then must master the directions. We got to know the directions, then we got to master the directions. So then that way, the directions, the instructions to go out there and win. So an example of this, it's like, okay, like I can understand the overall objective of playing chess. It's to capture my opponent's king. And the second I do that, boom, I win. But in order for me to do that and to have success and be effective at doing that, okay, I got to know how the board works. I got to know how each piece works, how each player, what the moves are, what's allowed, what's not allowed, all of those different things. So to really master the game and play the game at the highest level comes down to really mastering the instructions, the directions. So now let's enter in, what are the directions? What are the instructions? So I want you to think about, and I'm not going to show slides on this because I know the vast majority of you are listening to this, whether that be like on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, get a lot of you watching this on YouTube as well, but more of you, we get way more downloads on audio than we do with the video. So I'm just going to do my best job to explain this and give you visuals inside your head. Okay, so just imagine a funnel, a sales funnel, right? So we just look at an oil funnel. Like think of a funnel that you put into your car. It starts off wide at the top, gets more narrow at the bottom, right? Kind of like an upside down pyramid or upside down triangle, but a funnel. Okay, there's the overall real estate funnel. Now I know the word funnel gets a little complicated because there's all these sales funnels and Facebook funnels and YouTube, right? And lead magnet funnels. And so we're talking about right now the overall real estate game, the real estate game sales funnel. Okay, so then, how do we then get people into the funnel? So this is where it starts at the very top with the instructions and the directions. So I'm going to explain it overall what the funnel is. Then I'm going to do a deep dive into each of these. And again, do not allow yourself to be like, oh, Josh, I already know this, right? Because if you were to come to me and be like, well, Josh, how do you continue? How have you continued to grow and scale your business every single year, regardless of the marketplace for 20 years straight? How do you continue to be in the top 1%? How do you continue to grow and expand and sell the volume that you sell? It's because I'm obsessed with what I'm walking you through right now. Every single day, I break down the sales funnel and I'm like, dude, how are we playing the game? Obviously, I'm tracking it. I'm measuring it, seeing where processes are missing in the game. But I'm just obsessed with this right here. I'm just obsessed with the game and the instructions of the game and how well myself and my teammates are playing the game. That's it. There's no secret. It's just he or she that becomes victorious, that wins at the highest level, is those that are obsessed with playing the game to the best of their ability. Okay, so then it begins off with activities. So activities, these are lead generation activities, right? So activities, okay, what are the activities that you are doing to go out there and again, offer something of value in exchange for people's contact information? So boom, they can now enter the sales funnel. So it starts off at the very top of activity. So that's like the oil that you're pouring in the funnel, right? Those are your different leads. So then from there, the next step is then leads. The next step below that is going to be appointments set. Next step below that is appointment conductions. Next step below that is clients. And then next step below that is under contract. And then eventually, then boom, when that, you're going to get spit out of the end of that funnel, then boom, now you got a closing. So you got income. But it doesn't stop there. Now that person becomes your number one lead source and re-enters the sales funnel. So you can then maximize on lifetime value per customer inside your real estate business. Now, again, I know that this sounds kind of basic. I know this sounds kind of, Josh, again, I already know this, but I can promise you right now, what I'm going to start walking you through and I'm going to challenge you. I can promise you if you're watching or listening to this, you don't know this at a high enough level. And I'm not saying that I do either. I know it at a high level, but I'm trying to get better every single day. Been at this 20 years. And look, I got another 20, 30 plus years in me, however long God gives me the ability to continue at this game. I'm going to keep playing this game until I can't. And I'm going to spend the rest of my career because I know that there's no point in time where I can ever improve, ever get better, ever not, get better at these things and master it to a higher level. So we all have, regardless of where you're at, you have area of improvement. Okay. So as we start chunking this down, because when I say the word mastery, if you look at the title of this podcast, it's the real estate game, how to master it and how to win. So just think of mastery as another word for obsession. Obsession, just another word for mastery. So obsession is just what consumes our thoughts, for that particular thing. So I want to obsess over this and I want to master this stuff as much as I possibly can. So let's break down activities. So now this divide and conquer where we are just going to, again, obsess over our level of mastery in each one of these things and our ability to go out there and play the game at the highest possible level. Right. Okay. So when I'm breaking down activities, activities exist. Every single activity that you are doing exists for one reason and one reason only. And that is to generate and optimize and maximize the amount of leads that you generate that then boom, enter your sales funnel, enter in your CRM, right? So what I want you to do is obsess over and look at and start breaking down. And you can get out a piece of paper right now and just start, assessing this and kind of doing the work as we go along here. But I want you to ask yourself, okay, am I doing everything I can with every single lead gen activity that I am doing to maximize and optimize the amount of leads that I am doing within this activity that I'm doing and or activities that I am doing? Because again, they only exist to go out there and generate as many leads as possible. Are you doing everything like everybody else and doing half-ass job and effort of this? So an example of this is I get a lot of agents, even in my own market, they'll be like, oh man, I'm doing open houses, but I'm not getting any success, any luck. Okay, well, same market, same time, Same, like everything is the same. Same geographic location, same time frame, same everything. Well, how am I getting 5 or 6 times the amount of traffic that they're getting through open houses? And I'm not saying that you got to go do open houses. I'm just using this as an example. Like, you hear me talk about so much on this podcast, everything works, nothing doesn't. So I'm not saying you got to do open houses, but I'm just using this as an example here, right? It's because I obsess over this stuff. I master it. I track this stuff. I make sure that I know what the best subdivisions are, what the best types of homes are, what the optimal amount of signage is that I need to go out there. I mastered and obsessed over what's the best pre-marketing strategies. So when my competitors are only getting, 3, 4, 5 people through an open house and I'm getting 25 leads per open house or greater than that, so many people come out like, what are you doing? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And they think, again, I got some magic pill, but it's like, no, I'm just chunking this stuff down, divide and conquer. I'm breaking this stuff down. Every single activity that I'm doing, I'm always obsessing over it and asking myself, breaking down my strategies. And I'm asking myself, okay, is there anything that I can do to go out there and squeeze some more leads out of this thing? Because again, every single activity that you do inside your real estate business exists for one reason and one reason only, and that's to maximize and optimize the amount of leads that you are doing from that thing. So now you can start breaking down, okay, all the different lead gen strategies that you are doing. And then asking yourself, okay, do I have the most effective plan in place to go out there, maximize, optimize leads? Have I developed the skill sets needed to go out there, maximize and optimize leads through this? So do I have the right process? You can start breaking this stuff down. Okay, then now we enter the next stage of the funnel, which is activity, you're doing something to offer something of value in exchange for somebody's contact information, and boom, they enter the funnel. Now they become a lead. So leads exist inside your real estate business for one reason only, and that is for you to set an appointment. So what I want you to ask yourself here is, okay, do I have the best proven follow-up plan to optimize and maximize lead conversions per source that I'm doing? Like, how often do you break that down? Do you even know what the conversion should be to be adequate for that lead source? A lot of agents that I talk to, and a lot of team leaders and broker owners that are struggling when I have conversations with them, that'll reach out to me for free coaching calls or, reach out to me through gsdmode.com. They'll when I'll ask them, okay, well, what's your conversion rate? Well, I don't know. I'm not tracking. Then I'll ask them, okay, well, what conversion rate is shitty? Like, what's average? What's good? What's great? And they have no idea. So I'm like, how do you know if you're doing a good job or not? Like, you got to know this stuff, but then from there, making sure that every lead gen activity that you do, because I'm sorry to bust anybody's bubble here, but like, I've never met anybody that really has a lead gen problem. I don't want to say that there's been a couple circumstances, but that's like less than 1% of the time. 99% of the time, it's their inability to convert leads into appointments. That's people's biggest issue. So I want you to ask yourself, okay, do I have the best proven lead follow-up protocol to ensure that I'm maximizing and optimizing lead conversion per source that I'm doing? Or are you just winging it? This is the difference in pros and amateurs. Professionals don't wing it. They have a plan with precision. They're playing the game with precision. They're mastering this. They're obsessing over this. They're playing this game with precision, where amateurs are just like, oh, well, I'm just kind of follow up when I feel like it. I'll follow up, but, blah, blah, whatever. They're just got their head buried in the fucking sand, and that their results show it. Right. Okay. So leads exist for one reason only, which is to go out there and set an appointment. Okay. Now you got your appointment set. Appointment set exists for one reason and one reason only, which is to go out there and conduct that appointment. And again, I get so many people like, well, no shit, Josh. I'm like, okay, well, if you know that and you understand, again, are you doing it? Have you mastered it? Do your results prove that you mastered? If you are not getting a 75% or greater appointment set to show rate, you have not mastered this. Industry average is below 50%, and that sucks. That's terrible, right? So there's 4 things to get that appointment set to conduction rate to where it needs to be at a master level. And those are all 4 easy things. But I want to ask yourself, okay, like, what is your, are you obsessing over your appointment confirmation protocol? I'll just go through those 4 things right now so you know what this are. Okay, number 1, are you selling the value of the appointment? Number 2, are you making them feel comfortable for the appointment? Number 3, Are you confirming the appointment correctly? Number 4, are you setting the appointment within a quick enough time window? Because time kills deals. So if you set the appointment too far out, you're going to greatly increase your no-show percentage. But then from there, now I'm looking, because there's deeper layers to playing the game. Right? So then, okay, even if you're doing a world-class, amazing job with this, you're being a pro in your business and you're operating like us pros do, and you're getting a 75% or greater appointment set to show rate. Okay, that still means you're going to have 25% no show. So then from there, okay, well, what is my protocol and plan and my overall strategy for detours? So it's like, okay, I get an appointment set that no shows me. Let's just say it's a buyer consult. Okay, they go on a 26-day, 12-touch automated follow-up protocol. That's going to email them 6 times. It's automatically going to task me 6 times to then call them over the next 26 days to rebook that, because there's a lot of lost money, or there's a lot of money lost in people that don't focus on rebooks. So got to think of all these different detours. Okay, then the appointment conduction exists for one reason and one reason only: to come out with a signed client. So then from there, okay, do you have a world-class buyer consultation in place? Do you have a world-class listing presentation in place? Are you converting at 90% or greater? Or are you converting at 50% average, which is kind of industry average, which again, average is shitty. 50% of realtors last year closed 1 or less transactions. You don't want anything to do with average. Like, you want to be a pro, not an amateur, right? So that's why you're listening to this podcast, because you want to take your business to the next level. This is what the pros do. Again, no magic pill. They're just mastering this shit. So number 1, do you have a world-class buyer consultation and listing presentation in place? It's not just enough, though, to have them in place. Are you getting your reps in? Early on in my career, I realized, okay, I suck at these things. I was getting average results and I didn't want to do anything average. I knew I needed to get better at this stuff. So then, okay, I go work a busy day inside the real estate business, come home, spend a little time with the family. When the family went to bed, I'd spend 3 hours every single night setting up at my kitchen table, just role playing and rehearsing my presentations till I got in my 1,000+ reps. So then that way I was able to go out there, master that, and master those consults so I could convert at the highest possible level. Because again, appointment conduction exists for you to walk out of that meeting with a signed buyer broker agreement, signed listing agreement, and or a signed agent recruit, contract, because again, the game doesn't change whether you're going after buyers, sellers, agent recruits, it's all the same game. Okay, well then from there, client exists to get them under contract. So do you have the right protocol? Do you have the right process? I mean, so many people that are like, oh, I got all these buyers and I can't get them to take action. I'm like, okay, walk me through your process. Like, well, I don't know. I just wait for them to send me homes. Okay. Like, that's not enough. Like, okay, I've got a protocol for my buyer client's not under contract. Listings not under contract. Protocol for my clients under contract, right? To move that needle forward to maximize on my ability to go out there and help my clients be victorious of crossing that finish line goal. So then boom, we can get to that next element of the funnel, which spits them out of the funnel, which is now, boom, you get a commission check to help your clients accomplish their goal, or you're helping your agents accomplish their goal. And then boom, you get paid. Doesn't stop there though. Now it becomes your number one lead source. And this is, again, one of the big differences between pros and amateurs. Amateurs collect that commission check, peace out, see you later. They do not have a past client repeat referral kind of overall sphere of influence strategy to maximize on repeat referrals, right? So let's just say your average commission in your market is 10 grand per closing. Okay, that customer isn't worth 10 grand to you. That's how amateurs think. Professionals understand that, hey man, that customer is worth at least 70 grand at a minimum to me throughout the lifetime of my career. And this is what the pros do, and not just real estate, but any industry, is they obsess over lifetime value per customer. So they know between repeat referral business, this isn't a $10,000 customer, this is a $70,000 plus customer. So let me make sure I've got the right proven strategy in place to maximize on that repeat referral business. And now they re-enter the funnel and keep that going. Okay, so now that we've explained the directions and kind of what to chunk down and start breaking down your business. And again, this is something you should be paying attention to for the rest of your career. You should go out there and create a diagram like I do in my business. And I look at this damn thing every single day. I'm like, hey, how are me and my agents playing the game? Where can we improve? Where are we falling short? And then for eventually, like those that you want to start continue growing, scaling, you got to start hiring. People are always like, well, who do I hire? Okay, like, dude, your job is to continue playing the game at the highest possible level. So at some point, you're going to have holes in the game where then you bring on leverage people to go out there and plug those holes so you can continue playing the game consistently, day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, and so forth inside your real estate business. So, okay, everything that we've talked about now is to know it, to understand it, and then to go out there and master it. Then from there, you need to make sure that you are developing internal processes for every phase of the game. Processes, so this is just step-by-step written out documentation of what you are doing, is the only way to ensure consistency inside your business. Our processes ensure that we are doing the same thing each and every single way, ensuring things don't get missed, ensuring everything's done the same way every single time, everybody's having the same experience. Again, shit doesn't get missed, so it keeps our capacity up when it comes to that. So very, very important. So then we got to build out processes for every step of the game. Then those processes need to live inside systems. So we got to make sure the whole game is systematized, because systems exist to ensure that we are executing on our processes in the same way each and every time, ensure they're not missed, but allow us to do that in the most effective and efficient manner. We've got to make sure you're tracking each element of the game. How can you know how well you're playing something unless you're tracking it? You got to track it, right? Like, how much of it are you doing and how well are you doing it? If you're not tracking your data and tracking your every element of the game, and I know I beat tracking to death here on this podcast, but it's so damn important, because like you are an amateur if you are not tracking. And I know that's might sound like me being an a-hole, but I'm saying it from a place of love, because I truly care about you and I truly want your business to grow and expand. It is an impossibility for you to do that unless you are tracking your numbers. You might get lucky for a year or two, but eventually it's going to come bite you in the ass. You're going to have problems that you can't solve. You're going to hit a stagnation point at some point and then a decline point at some point. I can promise you that's going to happen. And for some of you, you just need to learn through going through pain, before you wake up and understand the importance of this. But the only way to create predictability, so if you're sick and tired of the roller coaster, look, if you want consistent outcomes only come from the right consistent daily actions. So if you want that consistency inside your business, whether that be, consistent stagnation, like maybe you're just doing 50 units a year and you want to continue 50 units a year, or if you want to continue growing by 10 or 20% or 30% year over year, either way, tracking is necessary. But then if you want to improve, the only way to know where your bottlenecks are, where you're falling short, is through tracking your data. Right. So otherwise it's like going to a doctor and saying, okay, doctor, I want you to fix me. I feel sick. I want you to fix me, but you're not allowed to run any tests. So then from there, they're like at a position where they're like, okay, I can give you, I guess, these 50 pills. You can take all these. Hopefully one works. And if one does work, we're never going to know which one it is that worked, but here, good luck. Right. Like no doctor's going to do that. Right. So any true professional in this business, meaning somebody that's committed to their real estate goals and that's truly committed to creating a long-lasting, successful real estate business at whatever level that means to you. These are all things that you got to do. Okay, and then the last element is eventually, if you want to continue to scale, not everybody does, and there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you get to a point where it's like, hey, you're doing 50 units a year, 100 units a year, and you're like, life is amazing, life is good, I just want to sustain this. So then this last piece may not be necessary. But if you're like me and you want to, like, you're about growth and about expansion and you want to continue to grow and scale, eventually you're going to need an element of leverage. So then eventually, now we start plugging in people to help us continue to grow and scale the game. So again, no magic pill, no secret sauce. Everything I broke down to you guys is the magic pill, is a secret sauce. The sad part is, my guess is this will probably be one of my least most watched videos and least most, listened to podcasts, probably least most finished podcasts. Because when I put out the magic pill bullshit, or people think it's magic pill bullshit, whatever, that's what everybody wants, but dude, this is the magic right here. I promise you, there is no magic pill. Stop looking, save yourself all that time, heartache, money. This is the magic. The magic exists in the work that the vast majority are trying to avoid and choosing to avoid. So let them go be distracted, but don't let yourself be distracted. Let them go out there and distract themselves with all the bullshit. It's cool, right? Like real estate, just like all business, is a zero-sum game. Somebody's always winning. Somebody's always losing. Let them go out there and lose. Let them be the losers, but not you and I, right? Like, we're going to pay attention to what matters. We're going to pay attention to the things that we can't control. We're going to master the fundamentals so we can go out there and create a truly successful business and create the lives that we know we truly want. All right. So I hope that this is helpful. Please take this seriously. And again, if you want more free resources, if you want to jump on a free coaching call with me, I've got my free ebook, which is an epic ebook. It's 42 top tips where I break down different scripts, different 42 top strategies to grow your real estate business, 100% free. It's a PDF download. So it's like an ebook. It's on gsdmode.com. You can also jump onto my 6 steps to 3xing or more your real estate business. So if your business is struggling right now, that's a 3-hour in-depth masterclass of how to 3x and grow your business, 3x or more your real estate business right now here in 2024. And then again, if you have you want to do a deeper dive into your business and jump on a free Zoom call with me, that's available for you there as well. All right, guys, truly appreciate you. Keep up the amazing work, and I will see you next time. Peace.